If you eat just one meal in Brussels, it's gotta be Belgian waffles with a side of frites. Sure, you're gonna glance at the famous peeing statue, you're gonna go to town square, maybe you'll even head to Mini-Europe and grab a photo in front of the Atomium. But to be honest, most of the time you should be eating Belgian waffles and frites, and I found the best ones to share with you. Let me guess, you are on the fence about visiting Brussels. It's okay, you're not alone. Everyone is on the fence about visiting Brussels. It's snuggled right up in between Paris and Amsterdam, so it makes for an easy day trip. But just because you could go doesn't mean you should go. I'll leave it up to you to decide if you should go, but hopefully I can make your decision a little bit easier by showing you all the best food and activities in town that will be waiting for you when you get there. Stick with me, I've got 2 different famous waffles, 2 incredible frite spots, and I even have a recommendation for your trip that comes straight from the Belgian royal family themselves. MAISON DANDOY. There are 2 different kinds of famous waffles in Belgium, the Brussels waffle and the Liege waffle. Now I'll get to the Liege waffle in just a little bit, but if you are from outside Europe like me, the Brussels waffle is the one that you're used to. We Americans tend to just call these Belgian waffles. Crispy on the outside, light and fluffy on the inside. For the best Brussels waffle in Brussels, you are going to want to visit MAISON DANDOY. They have locations throughout the city, including one just outside of Grande-Place. They have 2 separate lines. The to-go line was short and it moved quickly, but I chose to eat in and I had to wait a while to get a seat. Even after I sat down, the service was a little slow. So if you plan to eat in like I did, make sure that you have time to sit down, relax, and that you aren't in a rush to go anywhere. I ordered the Marolles secret waffle, which comes with caramel sauce and caramel ice cream. It was perfect. Sugar fix achieved. Pro tip, do yourself a huge favor and order a hot chocolate. Belgian chocolate is globally iconic and this one lives up to the hype. This was probably the best hot chocolate that I have ever had. MAISON ANTOINE. The magic of the Belgian frite is that they actually fry it twice. It gives the outside a loud crunch, but it's thick enough that you still taste the soft potato on the inside. MAISON ANTOINE is probably the most famous frite spot in Brussels. It is in Place des Jardins, which has tons of shopping and is a great area to explore if you want to get away from the central square. The iconic sauce to enjoy with your Belgian frites is called Andalous sauce. If you're not sure which sauce to try, start here. It's basically ketchup, mayo, and peppers. It is a little bit spicy though, so be warned. You can tell these frites are influential because even though MAISON ANTOINE doesn't provide their own seating, all the bars nearby will let you bring your food inside. Take your pick, but I do suggest grabbing a seat at one of these pubs. Pairing those fries with some famous Belgian beer is the way to go. These were top notch, but I actually found another frite place that I liked even better than MAISON ANTOINE, and I will tell you all about it in just a second. Tourism. So you're still on the fence, right? That's okay, I totally get it. Not everyone is as food motivated as I am. If you're looking for activities, I do happen to think that Brussels has just enough to keep you occupied for about a day or 2. I mentioned La Grande-Place earlier, and it is this insanely gorgeous square in the middle of town. It makes you feel like you're right in the center of some old-timey fantasy novel. It's kind of surreal. Nearby is the mannequin piss statue, and the people of Brussels love this little guy. This is their Eiffel Tower. They even dress him up in little outfits from time to time, which is admittedly adorable. He was wearing some sort of potato sack on my second day. I don't know. Art. An easy metro ride from town center and you can visit Mini-Europe, which is exactly what it sounds like. Miniature versions of the most famous buildings and monuments in the European Union and the United Kingdom. It is open all year, but it's probably better to visit in the summer months. I was cold. That said, I learned so much about the European Union. I was actually surprised by how educational it all was. Right next to Mini-Europe is the Atomium, which was built for the World's Fair back in 1958. They have some fantastic art and historical exhibitions inside, and there was this temporary sci-fi light show featured on the upper floors, which I thought was so cool. I have no good transition. Sorry about that, but I would love it if you would tap like and hit that subscribe button. Waffle Factory. The Liege Waffle. So I mentioned that the Brussels waffle is fluffy and rectangular. The other famous type of Belgian waffle is the Liege waffle, and it is neither of those things. It's actually a lot more dense and a little bit doughy. It's also sweeter and doesn't have any particular sort of shape. These are the types of waffles you are going to find being sold by street vendors. I bought this one from a man right outside of the Atomium. They're sweet all on their own, so you can eat it plain, or you can add syrup or other toppings that work on the go. The best Liege waffle that I had in Brussels was from the Waffle Factory. The line was long, but it moved quickly, and unlike at MAISON DANDOY, this is a great choice if you're in a rush. I got mine with peanut butter, chocolate, and whipped cream with nuts. I was skeptical at first, but I actually think I like the Liege Waffle style better than the Brussels style. It feels more unique.
WITTAMER!
In the year 2000, WITTAMER was granted a warrant for deliveries to the royal household, which means that some very powerful people in Belgium love this chocolate. It's high-end, so it's expensive. But I think it's worth it just to get a small sampler to see what really high-quality Belgian chocolate tastes like. I got a 9-pack of dark chocolates, and my eyes did that thing where they become hearts. If you're looking for something more reasonably priced, make a visit to La Belgique Gourmand. It is right next to Mannequin Piss, so you'll end up nearby at some point. I thought I was good after trying WITTAMER, but after Belgique Gourmand gave me a free sample, everything changed. It was so good. I honestly don't think I've ever been so convinced by a free sample in my life. I filled an entire box with assorted chocolates to take back to my hotel room. Pro tip, everything was incredible, but grab some chocolate covered almonds. The caramel flavor, obviously not chocolate, but so good. Buy some for your friends and family, or for anyone you secretly want to become your lover.
FLAGEY!
This is the best frite in Brussels, right here, and there's usually a pretty long line. Now I had tried several other sauces at this point, and they were all amazing, but I was interested in hearing what the cashier suggested for sauce. He said, try the Dallas sauce. Like Dallas, Texas?
America.
Okay, yes, like Dallas, Texas, but bear with me. Dallas sauce is incredible. It is essentially Belgium's take on barbecue sauce, except a little bit thicker and fairly sweet. The fries were sizzling hot. It was really cold out, but I still had to wait for them to cool off before I could dig in. I'm not kidding when I say I've been thinking about these fries regularly since the day this video was taken. Our problem in the United States is that we treat fries like a side dish. They are the other thing. They always play second fiddle to a burger or a wrap or whatever. In Belgium, the fries are the event. They come with their own little fork and their own little paper cone, and you don't need anything else.
Advice!
If you're traveling from another continent, trust me, I know, every day of your European trip is precious. Your time is gold. So here's my honest advice. Brussels is a pleasure, and I really loved it. I love chocolate, I love fries, and of course it has a ton of beauty worth taking in. That said, if it is your very first time visiting Europe, I suggest sticking to the major cities in the area, London, Paris, and Amsterdam. Brussels is a perfect city to visit if you have been to those other places and are looking to see what else Europe has to offer. It's a city with a lot of personality, a ton of record shops, a really interesting language divide, and of course, an incredible food scene.